We try to bring what we're doing in the restaurants, bring it into the school cafeterias and make it where kids really want to come and eat lunch. We're a team of crazy, innovative, refuse to quit chefs.
Produced by Podcast Architects.
Welcome back to another episode of The Path Forward. We're here at TexED Con 2023 in Dallas, Texas. I'm your host, Dr. Rick Fernandez, and we talk innovation, education, and anybody that watches the show know I'm a little bit of a chef, or I like to play one on TV. So I have some guests that are chefs and bring a new spin to school lunch. Alfred Walker, Ryan Bedell, Walker Quality Service. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank
Hello.
you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having us.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about why go into this industry? You know, I mean, I don't know how y'all school lunch was when y'all were in school. Mine was nothing to write home about. School lunch has a bad name. Why do this?
Well, we know that kids really deserve something different. They're a much more educated consumer than we were.
That's true.
And so when we were in school, we only had one or two choices: take it or leave it. And now, you know, kids go to malls and food courts and restaurants. So back when we were growing up, we didn't have all the restaurants.
There was no
and fast
DoorDash.
food.
You couldn't get DoorDash in
you
school.
couldn't get all that stuff. And so now we know that kids have options, and so we try to minimize those options by making the food better. And so Chef Ryan, he comes up with a lot of different concepts, and myself, and we try to bring what we're doing in the restaurants, bring it into the school cafeterias and make it where kids really want to come and eat lunch, and instead of just feeling like they have to.
So Ryan, talk to me on how do you keep quality and then the speed, right? Because you know schools, we got 25 minutes and we got to turn them and get them out, get them to class, all that stuff. High school's got 75 lunches because they're big. How do you keep the quality but also keep the efficiency?
Well, it's a couple different ways. We offer different options and different stations to where the students can go to different stations to speed up the process to get, say, pizza here, a chicken express here, a home-style mama's lunch here. And we also do a semi-scratch cooking where we semi-scratch cook on site, and then we also pre-batch in between the lunches to make sure that they get a fresh product in between lunches. But we spread it out to where they can get the quality options and keep them fresh and quality. And we also hands-on train these teams to keep that process going. So for me in restaurant, there wasn't really any fulfillment of what am I doing this for? There's people that come in and pay the bill and they go home. Here I get to see the kids enjoy what we do, and we get to see the feedback from the children getting fed, and we also get to see the parents happy that we feed the children with quality food. So we're able to teach them in a way to speed scratch cook to where they batch cook and keep it ready for each lunch. So that's how we keep it going.
Now, give me an example of a speed scratch. Like, what would that consist of? Because if it works, I'm gonna use it at the house. So help me out. Add to my repertoire.
So you may resource an enchilada from a company,
Okay.
but you may make the sauce.
Ah, okay.
So then we make the sauce in-house and add it with the enchilada that's already pre-existing, which makes it semi-scratch. Or if you have a hot dog per se, we're going to hand make the chili out of ground beef and out of spices like that. So you're combining the two processes together. Instead of just a regular burger, we may add the onion rings and the cheese and the barbecue sauce and make it a rodeo burger.
Gotcha. Well, I've been doing that. So you know, I go to the grocery store and get the rotisserie chickens, and you pull it,
shred it down.
and use that in the bunch. Okay, well, I've been.
And we do Italian pasta bake, stuff like that.
Yes.
And the Italian pasta bake is really great. You know, you cook your ground beef and your pasta and then your sauce, and then you assemble it all together, put the cheese on top, put it in the oven, and it's a beautiful thing, you know.
So as the president, how do you go about choosing the right chef? Because, you know, you're in schools and you're dealing with teachers and kids. It's a different operation. It's a different a level of interaction than at a restaurant. How do you know you got the right guy?
Well, it's a process, you know, and I firmly believe in handpicking people.
Yes.
But we do it with the thought of love and sensitivity and finding the right personality.
Okay.
And so when I found this guy, you know, we hit it off right away.
Yeah.
And I could and I'm good at reading body language in terms of whether people really have a passion for food, because we really have to have a passion for food, passion for people, and a passion for service. And service is a big part of it.
Sure.
And a lot of that you can't teach. You can't coach people to have a good attitude every day when they wake up out of the bed.
Right.
You choose your attitude in the morning when you get out of the bed. A lot of people just have bad attitudes by nature. And so majority of the folks that we work with, we probably work with about 90% women.
Okay.
And so there's not very many men in the K-12 space.
Gotcha.
And so we have a lot of different challenges to bridge that gap and make them realize that not only the kids' lunch is going to get better, but you're going to also eat the same food because they eat lunch every day as well. So you're eating lunch from things that you're actually cooking, and you're cooking it with love, and we want the kids to see that it's cooked with love. And once you taste it, you're going to be like, hey, I like this. And so a lot of our ladies, they're able to now go home and cook different things for their families.
Well, that's a huge benefit, as any wannabe chef like myself would want to take home. So you're getting a skill, a value add to your skill, to your profession. Chef, how do you put your own spin? Like, I would think that, are you more constrained with, obviously you got to follow the requirements and all the nutritional stuff. How do you continue to innovate and put your own spin on school lunch?
Well, for our chef team, we normally have the process of anything that you can do in the regular world, you can do in the school.
Okay.
So once we find something we like, we're walking around, we look at it, we go in and test it. We can cut it to the sodium levels and the requirements of the school districts and of TDA and all the regulations we have to follow. But you can almost do anything as a chef that you want to do.
Okay.
So you can get in there, and like right now we just released our Fiesta bowl line, which is similar to a Chipotle bowl line. So anything you see in the market, you can just take it back and streamline it to follow the regulations. And you can't cook with sodium, but you can cook with love. There's all kind of flavorings and seasonings and things we can do. Today we're featuring gumbo and stir fry with the K-12 flavor. Yeah. So for me as a chef, I take it as anything that I would create in a restaurant environment I can bring down. Of course, not like Oscar and lamb shanks, not that kind of thing.
I got you. The long hours, probably. Yeah.
But you also, believe it or not, you have to take into consideration of your base. The people you're teaching, you have to make sure it's very ready for them to use.
Right.
So we can't go too far off the map to where your average consumer or your average employee can't produce it.
Gotcha.
So we still have to stay in a realm of creativeness, but we're not going to come in with something that, that at a 5-star.
Right. It takes years. It would take years of yes.
We're not asking them to tourmet cut potatoes. We're not, but we are teaching them the basics, juliennes, dicing, stir fries. So we're actually bringing them into our chef world to get up to our level. But that's how we kind of keep the innovation going. And honestly, it's more when we're out. Me and Chef are out.
Yeah.
We see some, and he'll say, "Hey, I need that," and then we go make it happen.
Try it. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Have you found a way to incorporate student voice into the meal program, into what you create? Because we think about, and we do this as teachers and educators. Oh, this is good for you. You need it, so here you go. Whether the kid wants it or not, my own kids, you know how that goes. So, can you do that? Do students have a voice in the food?
Yeah. So we do surveys.
Uh-huh.
We do focus groups. We do taste testing and sampling, and so then we go out and just do impromptu visits in the dining room.
Okay.
And so we'll go out and sit with the students and ask them, hey, how did you like this dish? How did you like that? And so they give us their immediate feedback, and so then we take that feedback back to our cafeteria staff and say, hey, I talked to 10 students, and some got the chicken Alfredo, and some got, the
marinara.
Yeah. And so they thought the chicken Alfredo needed this, or could have been a little hotter, or whatever. And so then we go back and check things to make sure our temperature is right. Is our serving line
so
on?
you got like hands-on quality control.
Oh, absolutely.
Through your kids.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to tell you when it's good as much as when it's bad.
Yeah.
So you're going to know when it doesn't work.
Yes.
They're going to let you know from the rip, hey, no thank you,
Yeah.
a couple other words, but it's more harder to pull the goodness out from them.
Yeah.
You know, but they're very opinionated, believe it or not.
I know. I tell you, kids will be honest with you.
They'll take a picture. You'll be on Facebook and Instagram real quick. And so we recognize that because when it's not good, now kids got phones, and they can take a picture. Matter of fact, some of the clients we've been able to acquire, we were able to acquire because kids took pictures of ugly looking food or a bad tray and sent it in to the superintendent, and all of a sudden news media shows up. And so then we get phone calls to say, hey, we know you guys can fix our problems, come in and work with our team. And so that's what we do. We come in and kind of help them be more dynamic at what they're trying to accomplish.
One of my ways, maybe a little secret to see where your food service is at, right, is as a superintendent, I would periodically ask, hey, can you cater lunch for, like if we had a meeting or a principal meeting or something like that? Right. And of course, everybody's like, yeah, no problem. And, we'll come and we'll make something special. No. I want what our kids are eating. We just need somebody to bring over what they're serving to our kids, because if it ain't good enough for my kids, it ain't good enough for me.
Right.
And that's actually how we start our meetings with our clients. The first interaction at their board dinner, we put on a display of what we physically serve the children. We're not going to sugarcoat it, add seasoning, add anything. We give them what we give the students. And that's usually how we build our relationship first from there with the districts. So we do board dinners, the catering, the district dinners, anything
events,
we can do.
everything.
Anything we can
meals,
do to help.
all
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Concession,
trucks, all that
whatever
stuff,
whatever you need help with, we're there to help and make your program better. But if you don't give the superintendents and the school boards what you're serving, you're just selling smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
They're never gonna get to where they want to get to.
So, as the president, let me ask you this. Obviously, you got competition in the space. A lot of districts in Texas. What makes you different? What makes you stand out? What's the special sauce? I hate to use that as but what's your special sauce that says, hey, you guys are the ones to do this the best?
I think it's our team. Our team, like I said, we're a team of crazy, innovative, refuse to quit chefs. We all challenge each other. And so by challenging each other, we're able to challenge our clients to have a better program, to serve better food. We come from the industry.
Yeah.
And so I used to feed the Dallas Cowboys. And so one thing working with Jerry Jones was the expectation was high. The bar was always high. Ryan came from Maggiani's.
Yeah.
And the bar was always high. So when you recruit high-profile people and you challenge each other to give your best, then even if I'm down, he's lifting me up. If he's down, I'm lifting him up. And same way with the rest of our team. We have a great team. We're all Christian folks, and we all believe in and treating people with love and kindness and
service.
You're
about service.
Yeah.
About service.
And so really, at the end of the day, I'm a hands-on owner. My team are all hands-on. We're not go out and sell it and then hand it to this guy to go run. It's not like I do sales and somebody else do operations. So we do the whole scope of the business to where when we deal with a client, the client is getting our whole team. And so that kind of sets us apart, along with our programs of the food and the things that we bring into their schools.
So if a district wants to get in contact, thinking about maybe changing services, how do they get in contact with you?
Just give me a call. I'm Alfred at WalkerQualityServices.com. That's my email. My phone number is 832-892-4404.
Now you're talking about just call yourself?
Call my cell phone.
That's the first time anybody's given a cell phone out. I like that.
Hey, man,
They worked for Mike Jones back in the day.
That's it.
You must be a Houston guy. I like this guy. I appreciate it.
Hey, we do business based on getting to know people.
Yeah.
You can't expect to have clients that don't.
I like that.
That can't get in touch with.
Oh, I know.
And we're working around the clock. So we're in other states now. We've branched out from Texas. I mean, we're we're big in Texas, but now we're in other states. And so in order to grow nationally, we got to keep grinding.
Absolutely.
And that's our deal.
Well,
So,
gentlemen, I appreciate you stopping by and sharing what you're doing. It sounds like, I love the fact, I know I was joking about your phone number, but you'd be surprised. No, you wouldn't be surprised. You know this. Sometimes you do business, you can't get folks when things aren't going right, or if just to ask a question or to request something. And when you can't get people, and when service isn't responsive, man, it's time to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
Particularly, like y'all said, particularly when your behind is on the line, like a lot of superintendents, and you're putting out fires. You got to have folks that are responsive and that are going to work as a team with you to help provide the best service to your kids, your community, your parents. So I love that about what you're doing. And it's got to be that way. I mean, that's the world that we live in, particularly.
when that phone rings, they expect you not only to answer, but to show up. And then when you show up, you need to help them with a solution, because that's what we do. We're a solution-based company. And so at the end of the day, if you have a problem, then it's our job to help you come up with a strategy to solve that problem, make it better, and don't get stuck.
Yep.
And so a lot of people get stuck, and so we try to help them from getting unstuck and being able to focus on other issues and being able to go on and do their job. Because most superintendents are not really restaurateurs, so they don't really know about the food service, so they just listen to whatever.
We don't know. We're just trying. We're trying to do make sure kids are learning, right? We're assuming and hoping that they're well fed, nutritious, and they like what they eat and they're enjoying it, right? We don't. That's not our game. We try to. Hey, let's let the experts take care of that, and let us do school. So
it's hard to learn when you're hungry.
But you ain't lying. It's hard to learn when your food isn't of high quality. Your kids won't eat it, and then what? Then you got to look inward.
Feeding trash cans instead of feeding kids.
Exactly.
And
that can't have that. Yeah. So no, well, gentlemen, thank you for taking some time and sharing. I appreciate it, and I'll be looking out to see what's y'all. Got some market share that's available here in Texas.
Yeah,
hey, thank you.
It's 1,300 districts out there.
Sir.
Man. We only got a small amount, so we want to keep growing and getting them all.
Yeah, I think y'all are gonna be on y'all's way because there's a lot of need out there. I'll say that. So thank you, gentlemen.
I appreciate
you, sir.
You
Thank you for having us.
All right,
absolutely.
Produced by Podcast Architects.